The Traces came about because I had the title for a while and it suggested a kind of otherworldly sort of being, and I think the vibe of the whole record's got a sort of otherworldly sort of feeling to it anyway, and it suggested some kind of intelligence, not quite aliens, I'm not really there yet, but into alien territory. But the idea of the song really is that the Earth is looking towards alternative intelligence to help us out from the malaise or dilemma that we find ourselves or may find ourselves in. So the Traces is the idea of either an intelligence from a parallel universe or from a different dimension or a different planet. As I was writing the Traces, over a period of a week or so, this phrase, "call a comet," came from my subconscious as a kind of plea, which I know sounds very highfalutin, but it felt like an emotional kind of call for something to come and help us, because materialism doesn't work, capitalism isn't really working, religion isn't working, and politics isn't working. So it just sounded like a phrase, and it was then pointed out to me by a friend that comics are usually about annihilation, but I didn't really see it that way. I saw it as like a reset. I think the work that I've been doing with Hans Zimmer, which I've been asked about a lot on movies over the last few years, and more recently working with Maxine Peake, has probably had a bit of an influence on the record too, in terms of creating an atmosphere. In Maxine's case, you know, working around someone who is dealing with emotions a lot and words, you know, scripts and writing, and that I can see now that the record's finished has been a interesting kind of aspect to what I do, and with Hans, obviously, again, it's a matter of working on films is very concerned with heightening emotions, whatever those emotions are. So the Traces is fairly cinematic, I think, you know, because I've got kind of a bit of a movie element in my sort of working life at the moment. Well, the video for the Traces came about because I woke up at about 3:30 in the morning and remembered that there's a very interesting industrial plant, electrical plant, on the outskirts of town that it's been there for years. Very mysterious place. So I made a few calls and dropped a few names, and they agreed to let us do some filming in there. And it goes along the idea of, with the song, like the band playing these characters that represent either the last few people on the planet as we know it, or the part of a resistance of the new society. I had to try and do that in a low-budget video. So we borrowed a car, and we borrowed a trailer, and we borrowed a big electrical plant, a couple of spooky lights, and did a bit of role play. But I quite like doing those kind of videos. They're where you're using environments and good buildings and structures, you know, they're good to look at.